When Demond Wilson was first asked if he would consider doing a television series with Red Fox, his reaction was disbelief rather than excitement. At the time, Foxx was best known for his raw, uncensored stand-up albums, and Wilson assumed mainstream television would never embrace him. "Red Fox? They'll never put him on TV," he recalled thinking. Yet that unlikely meeting became the foundation of one of the most important sitcoms in American television history. What began as skepticism slowly turned into creative curiosity once the two men met. There was an immediate understanding, not built on similarity, but contrast. Fox was bold, loud, and fearless, while Wilson was measured, thoughtful, and grounded. That contrast would later become the heartbeat of Sanford and Son. In hindsight, the initial doubt feels almost poetic, a reminder that some of the most enduring partnerships begin with hesitation rather than certainty, and grow through unexpected alignment rather than careful planning. A sitcom that changed the landscape. When Sanford and Son premiered on NBC in 1972, it was more than just a new comedy. It was a cultural shift. Audiences were introduced to Fred Sanford, a sharp-tongued junk dealer played by Red Fox, and his patient, principled son Lamont, portrayed by Demond Wilson. Their relationship felt real, layered, and emotionally grounded beneath the humor. The show broke barriers by centering a black father-son dynamic that was neither sanitized nor stereotypical, but complex and human. Fox brought decades of comedic experience and fearless delivery, while Wilson anchored the chaos with restraint and sincerity. Together, they created a rhythm that felt effortless on screen. Ratings soared, and the series quickly became one of NBC's strongest performers. What viewers couldn't see, however, was that the same intensity that fueled their performances would eventually test their relationship away from the cameras, revealing the fragile balance between creative success and personal harmony. Early respect and a brotherly bond. In the early years of the show, Red Fox genuinely looked out for Demond Wilson. Despite his rough comedic persona, Fox had a strong sense of loyalty and mentorship toward those he believed in. He recognized Wilson's talent and reportedly pushed for him to receive better billing and recognition as a true co-star, not just a supporting player. Their relationship off-camera, at least initially, echoed their on-screen dynamic, an older, experienced figure guiding a younger man still finding his footing in Hollywood. Wilson often acknowledged Fox's role in opening doors for him and shaping his career at a critical moment. There was mutual respect, even affection, built on shared work and shared success. During this period, the set felt collaborative, energized and unified by the show's rising popularity. Few could have predicted how quickly those early bonds would be strained once business realities, expectations, and unresolved frustrations began to surface. The walkout that changed everything. By 1974, Sanford and Son was a major hit, but behind the scenes, Red Fox felt increasingly undervalued by the network. His frustrations were not only about money, but about respect, recognition, and fairness within the industry. Believing his contributions were being minimized, Fox made the dramatic decision to walk off the show during its third season. NBC responded by temporarily suspending him and continuing production without Fred Sanford, explaining his absence within the storyline. This decision shocked audiences and placed Demond Wilson in an impossible position. Suddenly, he became the central figure of the show, expected to carry its momentum while remaining publicly neutral. Wilson continued working, honoring his contract and professional responsibilities. While he expressed hope that Fox would return, the situation quietly altered how each man viewed the other. What Fox saw as a fight for dignity, Wilson experienced as a career-threatening upheaval he did not create. Loyalty, pressure, and silent expectations. The heart of the conflict between Foxx and Wilson was never fully spoken aloud, but it centered on differing expectations of loyalty. Foxx believed Wilson should have stood beside him more visibly, even refusing to continue the show in solidarity. From his perspective, loyalty meant shared sacrifice. Wilson, however, saw the situation through a different lens. He was still establishing himself, bound by contractual obligations and wary of risking his future in an industry known for long memories. Continuing the show was not an act of betrayal in his mind, but a matter of survival and professionalism. As the dispute dragged on, silence replaced conversation. What once could have been resolved through honest dialogue instead hardened into assumptions and resentment. Both men felt misunderstood, and neither fully expressed their fears or expectations. That quiet disconnect, more than any public argument, deepened the rift and set the stage for a lasting emotional distance between them. After the return, the distance remained. When Red Fox eventually returned to Sanford & Son with a new contract that addressed many of his demands, audiences celebrated and ratings rebounded. On screen, the familiar magic was still there. Fred and Lamont argued, laughed, and connected just as before. Off-screen, however, something had shifted permanently. Foxx now wielded greater influence over the show's direction, while Wilson remained under his original agreement, earning significantly less despite his central role. The imbalance bred quiet frustration. Wilson felt undervalued, while Foxx believed Wilson lacked gratitude and initiative. Conversations grew shorter, interactions more formal. What had once been mentorship turned into cautious coexistence. Cast and crew sensed the tension, often navigating carefully around the two leads. Though both men remained consummate professionals, delivering strong performances until the series ended in 1977, the warmth that once defined their partnership never fully returned. The show ended successfully, but the relationship did not. Separate paths after the cameras stopped. Once Sanford & Son concluded, the two men moved in very different directions. Red Fox returned to stand-up comedy and launched new television projects that leaned into his bold, uncensored style. Demon Wilson, on the other hand, began stepping away from Hollywood altogether. Disillusioned by the industry and exhausted by years of tension, he turned inward, eventually committing himself fully to his Christian faith. He became an ordained minister and devoted his life to preaching, writing, and faith-based work. Wilson spoke openly about his desire to distance himself from the entertainment world, which he felt prioritized ego over integrity. There was no attempt at reconciliation during these years. Each man carried his own version of the past, shaped by disappointment and unresolved emotion. Time did not soften the divide. It simply allowed their lives to move forward separately, leaving their shared history suspended in unfinished conversation. The funeral question and a quiet answer. When Red Fox passed away suddenly in 1991, fans naturally wondered whether Demon Wilson would attend his funeral. The absence was noticeable and fueled decades of speculation. Years later, when Wilson was asked directly about it, his response was brief and restrained. He explained that they were not in contact at the time and that he had personal reasons for his decision. There was no bitterness in his tone, but no nostalgia either. For Wilson, the relationship had ended long before Fox's death. He chose privacy over public performance, silence over symbolic gestures. While some fans interpreted his absence as coldness, others saw it as consistency with the life he had chosen, one focused on boundaries, faith, and personal accountability. The lack of reconciliation remains painful for those who loved the show, but it also reflects a reality many relationships face: when unresolved wounds are left unattended. A legacy larger than the rift. Despite the fractured relationship between Red Fox and Demond Wilson, the legacy of Sanford and Son remains intact and deeply influential. The show continues to resonate because of what they created together, not because of how their partnership ended. Their story is not simply one of conflict, but of complexity, shaped by ambition, insecurity, and the pressures of success in an unequal industry. Both men contributed something irreplaceable to television history, and neither can be erased from the other's legacy. While fans may wish for a more comforting ending, the truth is more human. Not all bonds are repaired, and not all stories end in reconciliation. What remains is the work itself, the laughter, the cultural impact, and the reminder that even iconic partnerships are built by imperfect people navigating difficult circumstances. In that sense, their story is not just a feud, but a reflection of real life behind the curtain.